This agreement with Mitsui dovetails nicely as it sets a path to commercial scale production with a world-class partner and, subject to successful negotiation, potentially licensing and royalty revenue. So with all of that activity, the scale-up pathway for Gelion is coming into focus.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Matt Wood, the CEO of Gelion. Matt, very good to speak with you. Last week, you announced an agreement with Mitsui Kinzoku. Can you explain what this means for Gelion and who are Mitsui Kinzoku?
Yes, of course. Well, look, thanks, Stephen, and thanks for the opportunity. Before we talk about Mitsui Kinzoku, just a few reflections maybe on my first month or so at Gelion. I've now had the chance to really get up to speed on the technology, to meet the great team that we've got, and meet many of our partners. And I've been delighted. Actually, I'm doing this interview today from our hub in Australia. And so over the past month or so, we've made several announcements securing exclusive IP with the Max Planck Institute, entering the US through the CRADA agreement with National Lab of the Rockies, and our joint development agreement with Nissan. And I would just say it's quite rare for a company to have so much significant news flow in that space of time. It culminated last week in the announcement that we've signed a funded development and scale-up agreement with Mitsui Kinzoku, as you said, to validate our sulfur-based nano-encapsulated sulfur cathode active material in both liquid and solid state battery cells. A little bit on Mitsui Kinzoku. So Mitsui Kinzoku is a leading Japanese-based global supplier of metals and engineered materials. And within that, a leader in advanced battery materials. So they provide ultra-thin copper foils, solid state electrolytes, and most importantly to us, cathode active materials such as NCM and LMO or lithium manganese oxide. So they already have production of battery materials. They have sales and a strong network of customers in the battery space. And so they're a great partner for Gelion, and we are extremely proud to be partnering with them. Specific details of the agreement are confidential, but as people will have seen in the announcement, it includes £2 million of non-dilutive funding, structured through stage payments, which are linked to milestones. And whilst this is not sales revenue, any payments we receive under this would be recognized as commercial revenue from FY27 onwards. And then it also includes an option for Mitsui Kinzoku to negotiate manufacturing and distribution rights for our NES cathode material in certain territories in Asia on terms to be negotiated. So that's a description of Mitsui and the agreement that we have. In terms of what it means for Gelion, I would say the biggest word is endorsement. This agreement adds a major global tier one battery materials manufacturer to our partner network. It supports engagement across multiple applications, automotive, stationary storage, consumer electronics, defense. And whilst we have work to do to meet the milestones, it does establish a clear pathway to commercial scale production of NES. And that's really important for Gelion.
Matt, how does this fit into your overall strategy as well as with other collaborations that you announced recently?
Great question. So it's really important to say that we are piecing together our partnerships very deliberately. And so, as you rightly said, we've had several announcements recently, and they all come with strategic intent. This agreement is an option. There's validation to do and negotiations still to go through, but it is a strong endorsement. And it's great to have a partner that is a global player, but has particular strength in Asia, where 80 to 90% of the world's batteries are produced today. And it is highly compatible with the other companies with whom we're partnering. So if we look at the strategic picture, we've now got an extremely robust IP platform, including the recently announced license arrangement with Max Planck. We have programs with leading players across multiple applications, including TDK, Kinetic, and Nissan. And we recently announced our entry to the US through our CRADA agreement with the National Lab of the Rockies, including provision for pilot scale NEST production. And this agreement with Mitsui dovetails nicely as it sets a path to commercial scale production with a world-class partner, and subject to successful negotiation, potentially licensing and royalty revenue. So with all of that activity, the scale-up pathway for Gelion is coming into focus.
Matt, what's next for Gelion? What should investors be looking for in the next 6 months to a year?
Yeah, really good question. I get this one a lot, as you can imagine. So I'm obviously very conscious of the rules around what we can and can't share, and what we must share. But we've had a phenomenal amount of interest across the industry in what we're doing. The signed JDA with Mitsui Kinzoku is an example of that, and we're being very deliberate about who we choose to work with. We're looking for partners who are in it for the long run because we're in a great market, and we've got something genuinely special. And so what we're doing is building a great company. So going forward, I expect two things. I expect plenty of hard work. We've secured these partnerships and collaborations, and now we have to deliver on them. And I expect more exciting news flow. So exciting times ahead for Gelion.
Sure, we're going to be having many more conversations going forward. Matt, thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Stephen. Great to speak to you again.
And you, Matt Wood, the CEO of Gelion.